Welcome back. Fixing America's infrastructure. President Trump spoke out on his plan to rebuild the country's roads, bridges. Take a look.
After spending trillions of dollars overseas rebuilding other countries, it is time to rebuild our own country and to take care of our citizens. The money that we've spent overseas, not to mention in the Middle East, where as of 2 months ago we had spent $7 trillion. And yet, if we have to fix a road, we can't fix it.
This coming as a new Fox News poll show that Americans are in favor of spending more on things like infrastructure and national defense. 63% say that the federal government should be increasing spending there, but only 32% of voters approve of a bipartisan budget deal Congress passed last Friday. 44% disapprove of the plan with the additional spending. Joining me right now is the former Speaker of the House, Fox News contributor Newt Gingrich. Always a pleasure, Mr. Speaker. Thanks so much for joining us.
It's good to be with you.
First, let's talk about the infrastructure plan, where this money comes from. You know, we've spoken in the past about people saying, look, the Republicans have lost their fiscal responsibility with that budget discretionary spending plan last week. And now we've got another $200 billion that we're looking for infrastructure. Is the gas tax increase a good idea?
I think if it's dedicated only to infrastructure, it'll be acceptable to most Americans. So they don't want a general tax increase to go to the bureaucracy. But if they think it's going to mean better bridges, better highways, better ports, I think that there would be support for it because our infrastructure has really decayed. I mean, you ride around America today, you go through some of our airports. It's really embarrassing how much we have allowed it to decay. Now, the other key part of that is that the president has proposed very bold, very dramatic reforms, which would really reduce the cost of infrastructure very substantially and accelerate its getting built. So I think it's got to be a two-part plan. Where does the money come from, but also can we fix the system so we can actually get infrastructure built?
What's your take on this discretionary spending bill that the House passed last week, the budget? Exactly. I spoke with Speaker Paul Ryan about it yesterday, and he said it was needed because of the needs of the military. What's your take, Newt?
Well, having served with Reagan in the 80s, I thought this was a very Reagan-like move. Reagan always put national security first, economic growth second, and the deficit third. Now, you go back and look, he was dealing with Democrats in the House, for example, where they had a majority. And functionally, we don't have a real Republican majority in the Senate because you need 60 votes to pass things. So the fact is, you have to have something that gets Democrats. That means you're going to get more spending than you want. That's what Reagan would have done. I just wrote my newsletter, Gingrich Productions, and was also published at foxnews.com, pointing out we can get back to a balanced budget. We know how to do it. I helped balance the budget for 4 straight years. I'm the only speaker in history to do that. But I think this particular bill at this time was the right thing to do, and I think Paul Ryan's correct.
But your contract with America, you're dealing with Bill Clinton. That was a different moment. You actually talked to your colleagues on the other side. You went out for a coffee. I mean, there is so much vitriol between the two sides today. Very different than when you were the leader, right? When you were Speaker.
Sure. But that just means you have to design new strategies. I mean, the key, as Reagan said, was that you had to have the American people on your side. He used to say his job was to turn up the light for the American people so they would turn up the heat on Congress.
Yeah. And
I think you're still in the same business. If we design, for example, the right workfare program, which was at 95% approval when we did it in 1995, you're going to have Democrats in places like Missouri and Indiana under enormous pressure to vote for it. And you may well pass very dramatic reforms if the American people conclude you're right.
Speaker, listen to what Speaker Paul Ryan told me when I asked him if he's going to be around to hear the fruits of his labor after the successful year he's had in terms of tax reform. And I asked him if he's going to stay Speaker of the House after November. Listen to this.
My wife and I had that conversation in the spring of every election year. We haven't had that yet. We'll figure it out then.
So you're not sure if you're staying?
Well, I haven't. It's something I do every single term. This is my 10th term. I've been in Congress 20 years. So Jan and I have sort of a cyclical decision-making process we go through come filing. So that's something we're going to do like we do every single term down the road. I feel really good where we are. I'm proud of the work we've done. And I really think we've put not just the House Republicans in a good position, but I think we put the country in a good position.
And he did. He's done a good job. But if he was staying, he would have said it, don't you think?
Not necessarily. I think
No.
Paul Ryan tells you what he really feels. Look, one of the things that makes him so attractive is he doesn't have to be Speaker of the House. He doesn't have to be at the center of things. I think he actually has more fun back in Janesville taking his kids deer hunting or going out ice fishing. And he's not compelled to play the game. My guess is in the end he'll run again. But I also think what he said is real, that they're going to stop at some point in the spring. They're going to look at it together. They're going to decide for their family. And he could go either way. I hope he'll stay. I think he's become very effective and really learned the business. But I also respect how much he's comfortable being Paul Ryan in Janesville.
Mr. Speaker, it was a pleasure. Thanks so much. Appreciate it.